Hello, everyone. So, I thought I'll probably share how you should make sure that if you want to learn, let us say, Jira, then, in my opinion, I think you should definitely have access to a Jira instance always, all the time. And there are a lot of reasons for that. For example, if you are, let us say, looking for some questions on the community and you want to answer those questions, then sometimes you can't just answer those questions by reading documentation. Sometimes you have to look at your Jira instance. For example, if let us say there is a question about automation rules, then you can, of course, try to create your own automation rule. And this is what I do. This is what I have been doing for many years. I always have one or in fact more than one Jira instance always available to me. So when I say always, I actually literally mean always. For example, if you ask me to run a script, I do have one Jira instance which I can straight away um open on my computer or any of my computer on my home network. So talking about, so you must be wondering why I'm showing you this particular small box. So this particular box is Intel NUC. This has fifth generation i5 processor and it has 8 GB RAM. And this is actually enough to actually run Jira instance. Yes. So I recently got this Intel NUC. And by the way, if you want to know more about what all I do, apart from Jira, you can actually subscribe to my other channel called Blackberry Boy. You will find, of course, the link in the description. So on that particular channel, I share a lot of things that I do in my life. In case you're interested, so I mostly talk about uh, Emacs, or mode, Linux. I talk about uh, things that I learn and uh, how to basically learn everything every day something new and share it with everyone. So going back to the topic of Jira instance, so uh, if let us say I have to do something on cloud, so of course cloud is free now. Of course, I think for the past 2 years there is now a free version of cloud, Jira Cloud, which is great because when you have free version of Jira Cloud, you can do a lot of wonderful things with it. You can always play with different features. You can actually use it if you want to. For example, I use one, not one, but more than one Jira instances for doing things. Now, apart from Jira instances, which are of course on cloud, there are a lot of things that I need to do also on server version of Jira. And for server version of Jira, what I had till last year, I guess, I had one VPS where, and I was paying for it. So I had a paid VPS with 6 GB RAM, and I had that VPS for I think 7 or 8 years. So I was paying some money for it, and I was only using it for my Jira instance, which was basically used by me for playing. And I had a paid version, by the way, not really a free version. I had a paid $10. I mean, of course it's only $10, but yes, I was paying for it apart from the VPS cost. So I always had that instance of Jira which I shut down last year in December because I was uh, I mean, most of the times, if I have to do something, I can still do it on Jira Cloud. But for running my scripts, or if I'm writing a script on a script now for Jira, or if I'm doing something on a server version of Jira, then I of course needed an environment. And what I do now, so again, talking about the local version of, the on-prem version of Jira, uh, if if I'm doing something with a script runner, then I use the script runner own. I think when you go to the website and when you try to read the documentation, they have like a Git repository where you can set up your own Jira version with script runner for doing local development, which I do. But at the same time, if I have to let us say write an app on server, then of course with the Atlassian SDK, it will give you a local Jira instance. But apart from all this, apart from these two local instances of Jira, I still always need a stable Jira instance which is always running, and I basically uh, are I mean, I basically don't have any up and running Jira instance with me because I shut down my VPS. So what I did, I basically installed Jira on this particular Intel NUC, and it actually is capable for running Jira. And of course, right now this particular and this is in my living room. Of course, it is not really. It doesn't look like a server rack. It is not. It is basically a low power device, but it works. And the only thing with this particular small box Intel NUC is that although it is quite powerful, I mean, for its size, it has like fifth generation i5. But whenever I run Jira on this particular, um, I mean, whenever the Jira service is running, this actually makes a lot of noise, and uh, and I am trying to basically improve it. Maybe I'll probably fix the fan, or I think the fan is fine. I'm not sure. I'll probably clean the fan, but I mean, the last time I opened it, it was looking quite clean, but I still have to figure out. Uh, but apart from that, actually, it works quite well. So this is my local Jira. I mean, right now it is running on Windows, and this particular machine is normally used by my daughter for playing games, and it is a proper computer, and it is low powered. It is always up and running, and this particular Intel NUC is my always on Jira instance as well. So this is something that I thought I'll probably share it with you because if you're trying to learn uh, any technology, I mean, it is not just limited to Jira, but I think you should always have access to those environments so that you can play. And if I do a comparison of the cost, so uh, of course I was paying some money for the VPS, and I was also paying money the for the Jira license, but not anymore. And the cost of keeping this on all the time, although I don't really have to keep it on all the time, but I do use it for because this particular Intel NUC, it has I believe 256 GB M2 SATA, the chip that goes directly in the motherboard. But there is a space for one more hard disk, which I will probably do. So I can actually use it not just for my Jira instance. It is like a home computer. It is like a media center, and right now it is connected to my speakers here. So I actually watch movies on this, or maybe if I have to watch my own wonderful videos, or if my daughter is playing games, and of course it is basically doing a lot of things. So this is basically my server, my low powered server. I actually had, I mean, I still have Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pis are fine, but the one that I use is the very first model of Raspberry Pi that came out long back. And I don't really think you can't I mean, because if you compare the power of Raspberry Pis are great, but uh, they are limited in what they do, and you can actually use them for doing one thing or a couple of things, not really multiple things. And this is, I believe, something in between Raspberry Pi and a proper computer or a server. I mean, to be honest, I don't really keep my laptops on all the time. I don't really keep my CPU, or this not the CPU, but my other computer. I do have like one more computer, which is like a desktop. I don't really keep it on, but this can be kept on um, for a long time because it's low powered, and I don't really think it will consume that much electricity. So I thought I'll probably share it with you that you should always have access to some environments in case you want to enhance your learning, or in case you want to make sure that whenever you're learning something, you have access to these Jira instances. And of course, if you are not really, if you are new to Atlassian tools, most likely you will probably just stay on cloud. And I think cloud works fine because for most cases, for most use cases, if let us say you are a project manager, or if you are maybe trying to become Jira administrator in your organization, then most likely Jira Cloud would be fine. But I thought I'll probably share it with you that you should definitely, in case you want to make sure that uh, whenever you're trying to learn something on Jira on-prem, and if you're struggling to find an environment, then consider maybe getting yourself a VPS, or maybe in case you're working in an organization where they have given you servers to play with. Wonderful. And by the way, at the same time, I also wanted to mention about Oracle Cloud. So Oracle, they give you, Oracle also had a cloud service, and they also can give you, I believe, 4 VPS for free, which I signed up, I think, earlier this year in February, and they are working fine so far. So maybe try to sign up for the Oracle Cloud. I think you need a credit card to sign up, but you can actually not continue after 1 month, and you don't have to pay anything in the beginning to create an account. You just need to enter your credit card details. So apart from access to your company's own Jira instances on prem, my personal preference would be to have something that you own, that you have access to all the time. So that is all I wanted to share and talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Slightly different video, I know, but I hope you learned something. Bye bye.